Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror. So I'm just gonna leave and go back to the cafe because I don't know what the next step is, possibly. Uh, we have here, it seems like it's a cutscene that's just gonna walk me to the sitting down before I can play. I have no desire to
I
go
had
in the
no
sewer,
desire to go down into the sewers.
and so I can talk to this guy.
Excuse me.
What?
And ask a couple more questions, I guess.
Which museum was it you were supposed to be patrolling?
The croon. It wasn't as if anything important was stolen. Just a rusty old tripod.
The tripod had returned a few weeks later. Excuse me.
And then
Leave
it
me alone.
stops you out from asking any more questions. And then I guess we'll ask the waiter if he can give us anything.
You need anything else?
There was nothing I wanted to say to him.
Wow.
It was too hot to sit inside the cafe.
And so there's
I
nothing
could
in
either
the
go back to
cafe?
Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery.
So let's go to Ubier's house, I suppose. Let's see if
There was
there's
no one
somebody
else I wanted to call.
And this door is still locked.
It was locked.
And up the stairs we go into the first room. And it makes literally no sense that I'd find anything here.
The cabinet was already open.
Siphon. Am I gonna keep it or what? Let's say I'm holding it, but it's not letting me keep it in my inventory. It wants me to either use it. Like I can pick up the siphon and I can try it on the cabinet.
The cabinet was already open.
And I can pick up the siphon and I can try it on nothing else. Interesting.
The cabinet was already open.
So box.
I wasn't going to touch the box after that spider had been inside it.
Let's see. Writing bureau. Open this. And take the tequila.
I'd drunk enough of that.
Is there something I could do, like use the flask with the tequila? Use the poison dart with the tequila. Use the underwear with the tequila. Yep, seems like there's no reason.
There was nothing else in the drawer.
This
The photograph wasn't any use to me.
And then come back here
The
and
rope
get the
was
rope.
shredded and no possible use to me. I
Squash
wasn't
spider.
touching that spider goo.
You're not supposed to, like, sop it up. No. And over here, there's nothing. Her
I'd already
bag?
ransacked Nico's handbag, and besides which, the color didn't suit me.
So, there's nothing here. We literally only have 3 locations that we could be at. And the only thing we're supposed to do is the Glee's library. And unless I was supposed to call the Glee's library, which
I had a choice of destinations. The cafe at Montfaucon or the art gallery.
now, this also, the way they've done the dialogue tells me that there's probably only a couple locations in Paris to begin with. There may be like one more. And that's it. And Let's see, credit card machine, but no phone. And these two don't
That
work
was
together.
no good.
Can't put the poison in the lipstick and then give the lipstick to somebody. So we're just ready to cheat at 15% done. We already need a hint. I have no clue. I've been back and forth talking to these people, and it says I've already talked to them both, and these Japanese girls back here don't even speak English. I can look at the Mayan pots, and that's kind of it. So I have no idea. The owner of the gallery stops me from examining the crates. How can I get back there? Hint 1. You need to cause some kind of distraction. I kind of figured that out. And I've got the guy drunk, and he smashed a pot. You think you'd have already caused enough distraction. Hint 2. The art critic appears to be a little drunk. Perhaps you can make him more so. Can I? I gave him some absinthe. Am I able to put more absinthe in the glass and just continuously get him drunk? Maybe I just haven't gone far enough with this.
Allow me.
Wow, I guess that is it. A modern game would have definitely only required you to do that once instead of twice. So now with the distraction, let's go.
I had no possible use for a credit card reader.
Really? Alright, well then let's go back here while he's distracted and look at the packing crate. You're not gonna get in there and hide, are you?
There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label.
Good. Grab that label. And see, Condor
Underneath the
Transport
logo
Global.
of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing. It was beginning to make sense. Oubier had organized Nico's abduction. Oubier withdrew money from Marseille. Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train.
Seemed like there would have been a puzzle there to figure that out instead of just a few lines of dialogue telling you what Mars means Marseille. And here we have another cutscene, and we're in a different area.
It was almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside.
How did he do that, I wonder? So, what page are we on still? 5. And then we've got new hints. What percentage are we done now? 19% of the game? Really? Wow, this game, maybe it's the remastered version? Maybe it's not. There's a lot of different fence things to interact with. It feels like it's become very linear. And that was the director's cuts difference too. Is in the original game you could more just wander around and it would take you longer. This seems like they may have streamlined it to their own detriment, making the game too short.
There was nothing there I wanted.
No debris you want? Alright. Over there's a barge. I probably can't reach unless I jump in the water. I can go down these stairs. Let's see if this takes us to a new area. Oh, it definitely does. Let's grab this hook.
The stick had a hook on one end. I figured it was a boat hook for hooking boats.
Let's see. And then we've got a bunch of garbage here. We've got a trap door and a dog barking. Tell me that there's probably a dog somewhere.
The watchman must have bolted the trap door.
And let's look at this
The platform was held up by a hinged bracket. I couldn't figure out what it was for. Maybe it was part of a structure which no longer existed.
Yeah, it seems a little weird. Let's see. Boat hook on the platform. And that stops that dog from
Here,
coming
boy.
this way.
My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform.
Interesting. So we're gonna end up dunking this dog.
Here, boy.
Is he gonna come closer? This feels like there may be a part of this. So we'll just go ahead and fold that down to start with. And go back up here. It's possible more things are moving on the screen than would have been capable of doing in the first game. Interesting, we're in a different perspective than when we started. So that artwork from that first perspective is kind of a waste. Let's see.
Here, boy.
This fence. Yep. Let's talk to the guy.
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
He doesn't look like a killer to me. But we'll see. So we've got this chimney and we've got this window. Let's look at the window. This guy is baking beans and throwing alcohol down the trap door.
Hi, good morning.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't wear a watch. As my dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
Let's ask him about everything. I suppose.
What time is it anyhow?
The big hand's on the floor. Why aren't you in bed?
I can explain everything.
Never mind, I ain't that interested.
The big hand being on the floor doesn't actually tell you anything. It just means it's something 20. The small hand tells you what time it is. So if you look at this clock, for instance, it's saying it's, 12:20. It's in the midnight.
What time do you open the gates?
7.
Do you mind if I hang out here till the docks open?
Please yourself, but you'll have a long wait. It's Sunday, and tomorrow is the start of the national holiday. Everything is closed for a month.
Well, wouldn't you
Wow.
just know it?
Wow, what a national holiday.
Does that dog belong to you?
Nah, he comes with the job. I just feed him every now and then.
More then than now, I'd say. What's the dog's name?
20.
It's unusual for a dog.
It's his registration number. Security dog number 20.
Interesting.
Does number 20 have rabies?
Nah, just a bad attitude. Like I said, he's a trained attack dog. They took him when he was a puppy and messed with his head to make him the way he is.
What's this symbol mean?
Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure, they have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
Come back in a month.
I have to make a delivery to Condor Transglobal.
Where's your rig?
About half a mile down the road.
And you walked here? Jeez, are you some kind of nut?
Nah, it was easy. I just put one foot in front of the other. Are you gonna let me make my delivery?
Not without the paperwork. You get the papers, you make your delivery, and I get a fat backhander.
I was getting nowhere with the story about being a trucker.
Interesting.
Do you know what kind of business Condor's involved in?
I'm paid to guard the gate. Their business is none of mine.
Let's just keep going down the list here.
I'm looking for a young woman.
At the docks? What kind of woman do you have in mind?
You don't understand. It's my girlfriend I'm trying to find.
Well, I ain't seen her, and you should tell her the docks ain't no place for a young lady. They're dirty and they're dangerous.
I'm certain my girlfriend was brought here when she was abducted.
What? Your girl was kidnapped?
Yeah. Struck down by an Indian with a poisoned dart.
A poison dart, huh?
I could tell he didn't believe me.
Let's try the underwear.
I have these very exotic panties.
Take them away, you pervert!
Probably the appropriate response to that.
Have you ever heard of Professor Ubier?
Me? None of my friends are professors or anything like that.
What's cooking?
Beans. You know a man can live on nothing but beans.
Not this one. Don't you ever get tired of eating beans?
Sure I do. What do you take me for?
And what's the alternative?
Peas. I can't eat them too often, though. They play hell with my digestion.
Have you ever considered changing your diet?
What's wrong with beans and beer?
You need me to tell you? You're pumping out enough methane here to fill a dirigible. This is the dart that the Indian shot at my girlfriend.
Sheesh. That's pretty weird, but I don't see why you'd expect to find her here.
And we have one more thing.
Take a look at this letter.
That's sick. Did you write it?
Oh, no. No, it's a letter from my girlfriend's admirer.
If I was you, I'd smack him in the mouth.
Well, that's not my style, but thanks for the advice. I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
So, what did I really accomplish there at all? I don't think anything. Let's take this chimney.
Ouch! That's hot.
So, last time we had something hot, we used fabric around
The
it.
panties would not have been thick enough to shield this level of heat.
So we're gonna need something even more. Let's try this. Nope, that's not acceptable. So back down here. Go. Come on. I'm clicking twice and he's walking around. So he's got the trapdoor here. And he dropped a bottle there.
The bottle was just out of reach. Nothing was going to get me into that water if I could help it.
So we'll use the hook to get the bottle. And so he's just dumping trash in that.
I just knew
dock.
that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little.
And let's see. This with this seems to be the right solution.
Hey, 20. Hey, 20.
Do I have anything I could put over here that would convince him to come? No, and I don't think I can just climb up here either. Like, we can try, I suppose. Maybe I'll just pop my head through and see if I grab something. Can I open the door?
I couldn't reach the door without climbing into the room.
And sleep dart on this guy.
Excuse me.
Huh? Who's there?
Well, that knocked me down. I guess maybe I could have opened the door or something. And he landed right on a sore spot. And he fell down. So let's see if the bottle here works with this chimney.
The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it.
Didn't think of that. I thought the bottle would just be something you could cover it with. Now maybe we can use the panties on this. Or just grab it ourselves.
Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney.
Alright.
The chimney was a metal pipe which disappeared into the wall.
So now maybe if we stuff the underwear in there. No, maybe if we put the bottle in there. Yeah, the bottle is a double use.
The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke.
There we go. And so while he's distracted with this, I go up here and sneak into this section. And what do we do? Lock him out? No. Let's take the biscuits, the dog biscuits.
The
And
packet was full of dog biscuits.
the bean, the pan.
Baked beans in ketchup.
The stove. Open it.
Yow! Stove equals heat. Heat equals burn. Burn equals excruciating pain.
Let's take the
That
cup.
mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was.
Take the box.
The box contained nothing but blank forms.
Well, grab one.
It was a box of blank forms. The box contained nothing but blank forms.
Switch.
I realized that that wasn't such a good idea.
But there's nothing here on the door or anything. So unless there's a specific
Not such a
reason
good idea.
to do this, or a specific reason to poison this,
No.
or maybe do this,
No.
is there anything I'd want to burn?
Not such a good idea.
So we got in here and we got the dog biscuits, and that's kind of the only thing that was important. Maybe I could have moved the clock around. Use the dog biscuits now for 20.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
And I guess I need to use the dog biscuits specifically with the platform.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
Throw it a little shorter. So he walks forward. And then, here we go, knock him in
I
the
felt a
water.
slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed. As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a... well, like a dog.
So there's nothing here to do with the dog. And he went out to sea, apparently. And let's go out the fence, or over the fence, or through the fence. Look at the padlock.
Breaking steel padlocks with my bare hands was a feat I'd never mastered.
Fine, we'll just climb the fence. And any one of those would have worked, apparently. And then we just get a cutscene walking into the warehouse. So, really only 3 scenes there, but they're all 3 screens from one scene. It would be more accurate. And how far into the game are we done? Wow, 25% of the game is done? It's not like I remember this game that much. I maybe remember a small percentage of this, but this is just some obvious things here.
It read Pont de Nord, fine wine producers. I didn't recognize the label. It read Condor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside.
Seems... maybe there's something different here? Maybe it will slow down? I don't know. It seems very, very strange to be a quarter of the way done in less than an hour, well, 2 hours? An hour and 30 minutes of gameplay? It seems unexcusably short. And if I'm recalling correctly, and this is a real shot in the dark as far as whether my memory will actually not fail me, but I think it was like a couple of years at least between this game and the previous one. I don't think they just rushed out the sequel within 6 months of the first one. Even if you did rush out the sequel in 6 months, you really can't make it this short. I am just bemused by being at 25%. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me further, click on my name Rydo. On the right will be a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.